Hi, so it's a little while later than me cutting out the dress pattern. So I've got I can't remember what the last update I gave you was. So just to go over everything I've done so far. I cut out the dress pattern, I made it. The top was too big and it didn't really fit me around the chest area. It also didn't stay up very well. Now I know that could be readjusted, but my other plan was to use a corset. So the difference between them is obviously a corset has boning in, so it will be more structured than something that is just fabric, which would cover my top half but not shape my upper half. In terms of the dress pattern, it was not a waste by any means, because I have actually used it to make a skirt pattern. So I made a mock-up of the dress bodice and the skirt. The bodice wasn't really what I was looking for, but the skirt was a really good length. It was a good shape. It fit really well. It fit well. I won't say it fit really well because it's not fitted, and therefore I think it's quite difficult for it to fit really well. But it fit, which is a good point, and it means that I don't have to draft my own skirt pattern. So where I'm at the moment, as I said, my mum came over at the weekend and she helped me to fit the corset, just lace up the back so that it's more fitted. Obviously I can't do that by myself because although my hands are flexible, they're not that flexible. My arms even. So we did that. My plan is to cover the corset. So I've got this drapey material. So this is an off-white colour. So I'm going to put that underneath the netting fabric that I've got. I'll show you that in more detail, I'm sure. So that will go underneath so that you can't see the white design of the corset. I did try it with just a plain white backing, but it didn't look overly nice. It didn't look, it looked okay. It looked better with the sort of ivory colour, so we're sticking with the ivory. The top of the dress where the cups are, I am wearing clothes, but obviously I need to try on the dress quite a bit today, so I'm wearing a crop top. So the top half of the dress will sort of be ruched netting, again ivory netting, so it will be ruched over the cups, which will be easier to sew and measure as well, and then it will come as sort of a netted sleeve, just sort of an off the shoulder sleeve. It doesn't need to be structured, it doesn't need to hold the dress up, it's just sort of ornate, I guess. I think it looks really pretty. The actual sleeves on the corset I will push down as well, so I will sort of add the fabric to them, although it will be scrunched together rather than spread out. Hopefully that makes a bit of sense. So my plan of action for the top half of the dress, as I said, I need to try it on, make sure that it fits, then I will sew the base layer onto the dress, then I will cut out and sew the floral netting layer on. Then I will go on to focus on the top part of the dress, the ruching around the cups. Once I have done that, I can then focus more on the skirt. Obviously that is a very simplified version. I will be looking to sort of sew down the boning of the top just so that it looks, I feel it would add some sort of decoration to the dress. It will look, again, not more structured, but it will, I feel it will add a nice structure to the dress. So yeah, my thoughts are that the top half is going to take more time than the bottom half, just because it's more structured. There's more things that could maybe go wrong. So that's what I'm planning on starting with, and once that's finished I think it will be a big weight off my shoulder. I feel like maybe not 60%, maybe like 55-60% of the I don't even want to say I'm stressed, because I probably am stressed, but I won't admit it to myself. 60% of the work I feel is probably going to go on the top half. I feel like that's going to be most stressful for me because I have less control over it. Because unless I take the corset apart, I have to obviously attach it and hope that the fabric fits to it well. I'm hoping that the floral layer will cover any imperfections if there's little things that don't quite look great, but if it doesn't work, I'll have to come up with a plan B. My plan B, if the covering doesn't work, the plan B is to cut out the individual pieces and make sort of a cover for the corset. So I'll have to cut out all of the panels. If that doesn't work and it's sort of a last resort, it would probably be the best result, to be honest, but it's much more work, more things could go wrong, is to take the corset apart and sew the pattern pieces directly on top of it. I said that would probably be the best result, but that would be the most amount of work. And also I'm highly aware that I've only got 2 months left, so if I took it apart and it didn't go well, I don't really have much of a backup plan. I thought it was quite important to mention that it's the 29th of July today. The days that I will have to work on this dress are either Mondays or Thursdays when my partner is in the office. And if there are any weekends where he can take the car down to family's house so that he won't be here when I'm doing the dress. It's going to be tricky, but I feel as though I'll be fine. I will absolutely be fine. I can do this. Positivity for the win. Hopefully you can see this okay. You probably can't hear me. This is the covering. You can see that it is not laying flat, but that's okay. The side fits fine and the top fits fine. So this is it from the back. So for the back of the dress, I can see that it's not fitting very well around the middle. It's quite loose, so I can just pull that in a bit, and just at the back here I won't be able to cover that because that is the functional way of getting in and out of the dress. But that's how my sleeves will be. And then I just need some tape to hold this. So this will obviously have to be held taut. So I will do that as I am sewing. So my plan now is to take these bits off and to make a paper pattern out of them so that I can then cut out the netting to be the same. But yeah, this is kind of how it looks. Bit of an odd angle. You can just see I've pinned all the different areas. Just need to make sure that it's not so tight that it pulls it up. So you can see here, for example, it's ruching up at the side, which is not what I want. I want it to lay flat, like that. So it might seem a little strange, but I have cut out the pattern pieces. They're just here. Had to write it backwards so it might not be straight. And then for the initial fabric, it's not natural fibres, it's made of acrylic. I don't know exactly what fabric it is, it's quite airy. So I've just gone round and used the lighter on the edges, just to kind of seal it in one sense, because it was fraying quite a lot, and because it is not made of natural fibres, when I use a lighter it kind of seals the edges so it's less likely to fray. So I just wanted to do that before I attach the or cut out the other fabric, because I think that this will make the whole process a lot easier. So you will see that it's not laying exactly flat. That won't matter wholly, because the fabric itself is flat. It's just the edges that's not. So I will still be able to turn that over, and obviously that won't be visible. Netting, if you don't know, doesn't fray, so I don't need to worry about doing anything with that. So I will pin the pattern pieces to the netting, I will cut it out, I will probably sew the edges of the fabric together very loosely, just so that I know that they are exactly the same, and then I will start pinning it to the dress, to the top. As I said, my partner is away next. He's away on Thursday, so I will be able to continue with the dress then. You may ask why I can only do it when my partner's not here, seeing as I've got my own office. It's because I need to try the dress on and walk around with it on, but also he is a little bit forgetful, so even though I ask him not to come into the room, there's half a chance that he will come into the room, and I don't really want him to see the dress before it's ready, before our wedding day. So yeah, that's a big reason why. And obviously I'm not just working on my dress, I've got other things to do. I've got some custom orders to do this week as well. So I've just pinned the fabric. I'm just going to cut it out now. So I have sewn all of the panels, so I've cut them out. I have tacked them just with the sewing machine. So tacking is really big stitches just so that I can remove it once they are sewn. And I tacked them so that they would stay together when I am sewing them properly. My only thoughts or my only input for the moment is I love how delicate this is. I probably won't want to when I start sewing it, but just the fabric and the netting is so delicate, and I don't know if it scares me a little bit or if it excites me, because I'm like, this is gonna be my dress, and I'm making it myself. I'm really excited, and I can't wait for the corset to be recovered with this beautiful fabric. And so I have just covered the corset. I've just pinned it, so I'm kind of stabbing myself in 20 different places at the moment, which is really nice. I'm just in my bedroom to show you. So this is it at the moment. I just need to obviously sew it, but I have pinned it all. And I just wanted to see how the fabric laid on top. So you can see the top layer is a little bit looser. It's not as fitted, but to be honest, it doesn't add much to it. So, as in, it doesn't add any bulk. So I'm not too worried about that if it doesn't lay perfectly still. I feel I can manipulate the fabric more when I sew it. So that's it from the side. I will have to sew a seam there, and that's it from the back. Obviously I can't see the back on myself, so that's probably why I'm getting stabbed so much. So at the moment, before I put this on, I didn't flatten the fabric at the back, so you can see my bare back, but that won't be like that on the day. I think it's probably about 4:30ish, 4:45. So maybe I can just sew the back panel here because that's probably the easiest to get started on. Obviously this bit here doesn't matter too much how neatly I sew this bit, because again this will likely be covered. So this is ruched in the middle again because it won't really be on show, but yeah, I love it. I can just about breathe in it. No, it's fairly comfortable. It's just obviously I'm not used to wearing it, but yeah, that is a big part of it done, and I will start sewing now and see where I get to. So it is the 1st of August. Sorry for the background noise. They are just doing the bins at the moment, the big bin trucks. So just to give you an update, it's the morning, so I haven't worked on it today, but I did work on it last night for a couple of hours. So on, I think it was Monday when I worked on it, I did this back panel. So I just sewed it to the, I just sewed the edging down. Yesterday, for the last 2 hours, I did this. Won't open it just because I'm lazy. Just the back panel, which goes underneath the sort of closing just here. So that's completely sewn on. And I also did, just because I had a little bit of thread, and I think this is probably the easiest part, I did sew this bit on, just the top bit here, and started sewing around the cup as well. So I didn't get to the end, I got to about, well, I got to exactly here. But that was really easy. I've just realised in here now, it looks as though there's no designs at the top. I think that's just so happens to be the way that it's, being cut. So there are some designs on there. You can see obviously the flowers. From the spare bits of pieces as well that I have cut off, I've just cut these flowers off. I'm going to add a few more because there's not too many. And I was wondering as well, if I had extra time, maybe I can add some more decorations to it. For example, pearl beads or something similar. Obviously that is assuming I have enough time. My hope for today is to finish the back panel and hopefully finish the front panel, if not all of it, most of it. There's a little bit of fluff inside the fabric that looks like a black stain, which isn't good. There we go. Because I know that I would realise that after I've already sewn it down. My partner is going away this weekend. He will be gone Friday night, Saturday. Hopefully he'll be back sort of Sunday night or Sunday afternoon-ish. And my plan, because I will have all the time in the world, and I will obviously have free reign of the house, my plan is to get this done today and then to start working on the skirt. Obviously the skirt is something that I will need to try on, and I need the most amount of space for. So that's my thinking with that. So if I can get a majority of this sewn on, that would be good. I've probably explained a bit before. I feel as though I'm really rambling. I have probably explained before, I am going to sew down the boning on the corset just so the design looks more finished, and then sort of adding the top and the sleeves, that doesn't necessarily need to be done right now. I will need to measure it and I'll need to look in the mirror for that, but I feel as though, again, if I've only got one weekend, for example, that I can do the skirt in, I would prefer it to be a weekend where he's not here. Again, I might have said this, I am going to my mum's in a few weeks, so just to work out how long I've got until then, that's 5, 6, 7 days to get as much done as I can. So when I go to my mum's house, I'm hoping to have the skirt relatively finished so that she can cut it to size for me. So I need to take over my wedding shoes and obviously my dress and my skirt. I needed to be cut because obviously my partner can't see my dress before then, and I don't really have anyone else that I can ask to do it for me. And obviously it's very special for my mum to be involved in the process of my wedding dress, and it's really special, and I trust her a lot. She's got steady hands, so yeah, that's my sort of thinking with getting the skirt done for that weekend. We're going over on the 15th of August. It's the first today, so sort of 2 weeks I've got. So if the top isn't completely finished, that's fine, because I'll have loads of time between sort of mid-August to the end of September to get the dress done. So this is the top. This is how the top will look. This will need some tape to make it stick. I have sewn this part and part of the boob on, the breast even. And I've sewn the back. So the back panels have both been sewn. And what I've just done here is I've just pinned down the boning of it. And then the sleeves will just be off the shoulder. So I don't know exactly how to do these, whether to just leave them sort of how they are so that the sleeves have a bit of structure. And then, as I said, the fabric will be gathered around here. So yeah, I've done, that was the morning's work, is just sewing the back. I've sewed this panel, I've sewed this panel down, and the way I'm going to sew this front panel is to just sew it at the same place so that the seam is quite seamless. It doesn't lay as flat as I would like it to lay, but it honestly doesn't bother me that much. And because it's a semi-difficult fabric to work with, I don't think it will ever lay perfectly flat, just because the top netting is quite stretchy, whereas the one underneath isn't as stretchy. So it's probably going to cause a problem anyway. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. The shape that it gives me is quite nice. This is obviously just pinned over, so yeah, I've stabbed myself with the pins so many times. So I'm going to go have some lunch, put some plasters on my wounds and get this off, and try not to stab myself too much in the process. So yeah, but no, I'm happy with it. So I think by this weekend, I will definitely have the top at least sewn. I'll have the front sewn on. Hopefully I'll have started on the boning, but if not, then, you know, I'm not going to be too upset. So yeah, I should be in a good place, ready for this weekend. So it looks really dark at the moment. It's only about 5:30. I've put my dress away. Yeah, so my partner will be home any minute. So today I have finished the back side of the dress. I finished the front, most of it. I just need to finish the top bit. So just under here, around the breast. This part is done, bust even. Half of this bit is done, so just to finish. No, I think I finished. It's just one cup literally to do. So that'll be good. And then I finished most of the top part of the dress. The top part probably won't take me that long, but I don't know whether I'll do it today or... No, I definitely won't do it today. I don't know whether I'll do it before the weekend, or maybe I can start that on Friday night. I spent the whole day sewing. It hasn't actually taken me all day, but just hand sewing the same fabric all day is a little bit... I just kind of zone out a bit. It's tricky to stay motivated. Oh, thunder. Yeah, it's difficult to stay motivated. I don't know if you can hear that, but that was quite a weird one. Still going. Yes, so tomorrow night I will probably get started on... I will probably finish the top of the dress, and then I will get started on the skirt. As I said, I've got a rough idea of how I want the skirt to go. It will just be a case of getting it done before I go and see my mum. Hello, it is now the 3rd of August. I have had a weekend, or I am having a weekend alone. My partner is out of the house, so I am going to work on my dress. Because I want to chill and watch some programmes on TV, I'm going to be doing the hand stitching this morning. So I've got my dress here, or the top part of it, so I am just going to be sewing up and down the boning on the corset. I'm going to finish sewing the corset as well around the bust area. This afternoon I am going to focus on the skirt, I think. So yeah, I will check in with you probably nearer the end of the day once I've finished the sewing. So I finished sewing down the line of the boning. That's taken me quite a while. Today is Sunday, the 3rd of August, I think. It's in the afternoon, I don't know exactly what time it is. So yeah, I finished the boning. Don't know how well you can see it because obviously the sun is shining today, which is nice. This is how it looks. I'm really happy with it so far. So again, it's just a process. I will need to measure this. So I want to have the netting draping over the top just here. So over the bust area and then across the arms. I think the arms are a little bit too loose. This one may be alright, but the other one is a bit loose. I would kind of like them to sit here. So I don't want it to sit on the shoulder. I want it to sit just off, like here. So I'll need to adjust the other one so that it's the same length. I'll leave the top area maybe till tomorrow or for another day. I've done a lot of hand sewing today, so to be completely honest, I can't really be bothered to do it today. So yeah, then the skirt I'll do another day. But yeah, it's been a long weekend. I didn't spend all of my time yesterday doing it. I spent a lot of my time yesterday doing it, and today that's pretty much all I've done for the wedding is sewing down the boning and just fixing little details. So yeah, I might check in with you later, probably not in regards to the dress, so yeah, I'll speak to you on the flip side.